Hey everyone, welcome to Taking the Pulse, a healthcare and life sciences video podcast. I am Heather Hoops Matthews here in the studio in Columbia, South Carolina today. First, joined by Lauren DeMoss, a Maynard Nexon healthcare attorney in our Birmingham, Alabama office. Sorry, Lauren. Lauren, it's good to be with you.
Thanks so much, Heather. Great to be here.
And I am pleased to have join us today a technology leader with an important job. Shannon Frazier is the Executive Director for Human Resources for Lenovo North America. This Fortune Global 500 company is the world's leading PC maker, and Lenovo has thousands of employees in North America. Shannon is based in North Carolina. Also, she has some worldwide leadership duties with the company. Shannon, thanks so much for joining us today.
Great, Heather. Thank you to Lauren for having me.
Let us begin by just learning a little bit more about you and the scope of your role, and then a bit about your background and your current leading responsibilities.
Sure. So I have responsibility for most of our sales team. So I have responsibility and support our global accounts team, which service our Fortune 500 customers. I also have responsible for our North America sales team, which services customers within our North America geo. And then I'm fortunate enough to also support our worldwide chief marketing officer for Intelligent Device Group. So good cross-pollination between sales and marketing here.
And that's a lot of people. You're talking about thousands, right?
Thousands of people, yes. Thousands of people and probably 10,000s of customers.
Wow.
Yeah, Shannon, I think of HR and, I'm sure we could talk for hours about all the different challenges you face with that many employees too. But I think retaining a solid workforce to me, especially in a dynamic industry like technology and life sciences, seems to be one of the biggest challenges. So how does a company as large as Lenovo plan for and make decisions for a diverse employee group over such a large footprint? And what are the kind of things you take into consideration?
Sure. So we're very proud of our diversity here at Lenovo, and as well as our inclusion process. And we can talk about what that looks like from just a benefits perspective later, I believe. I think that our retention rate at Lenovo specifically is half of what our competitors are. And I think a lot of that has to do with our culture. I think a lot of it has to do with we really believe in being your best self at work and being your true self at work and making sure that there's programs and support structures there for our employees to be able to do that. They don't have to be someone different when they come here. There's ways they can find a sense of community as well as a great career path. And I think that goes a long way to retain our employees.
For sure.
I've been to the Morrisville, North Carolina site, which is one of two global headquarters that Lenovo has in the world. It's super impressive. And that's that RTP area that's super dynamic. And so I know, the technology industry has global technology challenges, but you also have a pretty competitive environment where you are in North Carolina. What are some of the challenges and opportunities that you see today and on the horizon? And how could they be tied to the economy? How do you try to stay flexible in such a dynamic industry?
Well, I think, one of the things that Lenovo has is it has a good reputation in the industry, right? And then when you look at it holistically from a North America perspective or Morrisville, where you've been able to visit us, Heather, right? So have a very strong relationship in our community, either through philanthropy or either through our college programs, our community college programs. Lenovo is one of the only companies, I think there were three across kind of the U.S. market that was able to maintain their intern and their college hire program during COVID. And so when you have the opportunity to bring in high school level students, college level students to experience Lenovo as a workplace during their time off school, and they see what different types of career opportunities we have here. We like to have fun at work too. That never hurts with our community, with our high school and our college age recruitment programs. But I think that helps, right? As you see the consistency and the importance that we place on being able to recruit talent locally and have those relationships with universities. And then a sense of community, like we gave $5.7 million philanthropically just in North America alone. And that includes both our partners and community sponsorship, as well as what our own employees do. And we have a very strong match program for them. So it's not just who Lenovo partners with from a community perspective, but I myself can give money to causes that are important to me, and we have a match. And so you've got this nice balance of community alliances and this nice balance of employees also being able to support causes that they care about.
Is this a place where we could maybe talk about benefits and how those may play a role?
Yeah, I think, benefits is important. And I always say there are really wonderful, deep knowledge people from a benefits perspective. But I spoke with a high school last week and I reminded myself of all the great things that we have. Every year annually, we obviously have benefits registration. And I've been at Lenovo almost 14 years now. And every year it feels like we do a good job of listening and then making sure we're offering competitive benefits in the market that we're in today. Over the years, we've added things like pet. So you have your pet's insurance, right? This recently, right? College recruitment is getting much more competitive. We offer college coaching through one of our vendors with Fidelity to help our families prepare for the SAT, the ACT, right? Have essay help. I have a daughter, she went to college. She didn't want us to read her essay till she went, but we knew someone that could help her with that in that process. And I had no idea it was a benefit for us until I started thinking about my next daughter going to college. Yeah. So benefits, I think, is something that you have to be constantly on the cusp of. You have to make sure that you're meeting your employees in a place where they want to be met. We also have a great process where just because you live in a community such as North Carolina, we have amazing healthcare here, obviously, between Duke and UNC. If there's not something here that services your need medically, there's no boundary in regards to you seeking care in another state if that's where the best care is for you. So we support our employees in any environment where they would need to seek health care. There's essentially no fencing, right? Just based on the state that you're in. And that's a huge benefit for people, right? Because you obviously have cancer institutes and those types of things that may be better able to service our employees. Fertility, also big issue, right? And fertility may have better opportunity or better support and care outside of North Carolina. And so it's really important to us that our employees feel like wherever they need to find help, whether it's medical or whether it's mental, they have our support to do that.
Shannon, speaking on, you said you want to be on the cusp, right, of
Yes.
benefits and things like that, but kind of shifting gears a little bit, but also being on the cusp. I'm curious if we can kind of touch on AI, because I feel like a lot of our guests recently, no matter what the role is, the industry, kind of how they touch healthcare or how they touch life sciences, we're talking about AI. So in your role, how is AI coming into play or has come into play, or what do you see on the horizon?
I think AI for us, right, is essentially, if we look at it from an employee lens, is how does an employee quickly access information that they need? And so we have a portal that employees can utilize through if you type in something that you're looking for, Robbie the robot essentially brings it back to you to help connect you to that. Obviously, AI is much better. The more people ask it the questions, the more the question, the answers come back more quickly. And so we really encourage our employees to leverage that platform. AI from a customer perspective, obviously AI is important for all. We talk about technology for all. And so we're trying to make sure that our devices are enabled for our customers and for our employees as well to be able to capture information that's important to you that helps you make decisions more quickly.
And to your point, that the more and more information helps it get better and better. So
yes,
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's what we have to remind people. The more you use it, the smarter it will be on our behalf. So
that's right.
That's sales. That's a big mantra. And then obviously from an employee experience perspective, it helps as well.
Previous podcast guests in the healthcare, both in the life sciences and the healthcare industries actually, have told us how employee medical records are a challenge to manage. We've talked with people even today about cyber attacks and EMRs, as they're called, and concerns about that. How does Lenovo tackle that challenge? And maybe we do it from both sides. You can talk about in your position, and then also how is Lenovo helping to innovate solutions for the management of such an important and growing need?
Yes, so we actually don't maintain employee health records at Lenovo. We use a third-party vendor to do that. Just as you said, the information is extremely confidential, right? Extremely critical to the employee. And so we use a third party to essentially maintain benefits information. That's maintained through your Cigna vendor or through your Fidelity vendor, benefits solver from that perspective. So we don't have the challenge of protecting employee records, but obviously our customers do, particularly in the healthcare field. And we have a healthcare vertical, Heather, that's very focused not only on what hardware do they need, right, but is it secure, right? Is the information secure? We have a product called ThinkShield that comes essentially with all of our healthcare products that we would sell in the market that is very tested, very well worn, seen as one of the best in the industry. And that's kind of a standard for our healthcare vertical at Lenovo. So not necessarily a challenge for us around our employees because we don't house the information, but obviously forefront of our customers' mind. The cyber attacks, I think, are probably going to continue to be an issue, right, as we kind of continue to go into the future here.
Mm-hmm. One of the blessings and the curses of technology, right? I think the blessings outweigh. Final question for you, if you don't mind, and I know that your company has sponsored a technology day in North Carolina for multiple years now, and that's getting ready to come up. But you mentioned you spoke to some high school students, that you have high school students in, and I know you have a robust kind of like an apprenticeship program. What are some words that you may have for the next generation looking in this industry to follow you? Any words of advice you shared with that high school group that you wouldn't mind sharing with us?
Sure, I did. I did share with them, maybe not to share with their parents, that GPA wasn't super important when you started looking for a role at the company. It's not something we pay attention to. That the school wasn't necessarily super critical, because I think what you look for essentially is people who've made something of an experience they had an opportunity to kind of go through. So if you're coming out of high school, there's great opportunity for you here on our sales floor and our customer service floor. And, how did you interact in high school? What were your social skills? Did you participate in activities? And then you look at our community colleges, right? Did you finish, right? Did you have an area of interest? Did you go to choose community college as your path? And were you able to finish kind of that area of study? And then how do you want to apply it in a company as big as Lenovo? What sparks your interest? And then again, from a 4-year degree perspective, right? Did you finish, right? What things did you do while you were in college? Did you join clubs, right? Were you part of a, I'll say student government type of thing, right? Were you rec league? I know a lot of colleges now have we have a baseball program, and then we have a club program team, right? Did you participate while you were in university? Because I think what you'll find, and Heather, you've visited us, the environment from a work perspective is really comes down to how strong are you as a team. And if you've had the opportunity to be in a team environment, whether it's athletics, whether it's government, whether it's startup of your own small business, or how you volunteer, right? Those skills will serve you well in life, right? Because being part of a team can have its own challenges, but understanding where you fit and how you operate together is hugely powerful.
Well, and Lauren, I think you'll agree that allows everybody to have a role, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Not just those that can graduate from Harvard and Yale, but everybody. Well, Shannon, thank you for taking a few minutes to join us today. Again, you are the Executive Director for Human Resources for Lenovo North America, which is a global Fortune 500 company. Lauren and I are grateful for your time, and we wish you the best in the rest of 2024.
Great. Thank you. Best to you as well.
Thank you so much. And for those of you who joined today's episode, we hope you learned a little bit more about both Lenovo and the challenges before someone who's managing human resources for such a large platform. On behalf of Lauren and the Pulse team, we wish you the best, and we thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you next time right here on Taking the Pulse, a healthcare and life sciences video podcast.